And we're live. Hello. Welcome to Failing to Read the News episode number 123. We're actually a little bit early for, I think, the first time ever on this channel. We're actually a little bit early.
Hello, welcome.
This is the very rare thing on this channel. We're like 10 seconds early. I feel like we
It's
deserve
great,
a congratulations for that. We started early.
If you're early, you're on time. So I hear.
So in the chat, there's Cryptic who says Scots aren't real people. And
Hi, Cryptic.
And there's Green Thunder. Hello, people.
Hey, Green Thunder.
So, on to the news then.
What is going on in this mad world today on Saturday?
As we all know on the show, we all like to start with stupid stuff first. So
Awesome. I'm ready for it.
this is a very Green Thunder-esque article. You'll find out why in a minute.
I can't wait.
Pooed on it. Disgusting moment. Turkish shopper poos himself at the checkout aisle, then botches it. To hide the evidence.
Oh.
Yeah, you can see why this is a very Green Thunder-esque article.
It just went straight down his shorts.
The fucking video loads. Come on. Is there anything going on in your background or something? So the man's... Yeah, there's the moment he realizes he shits himself.
And instead of like...
Oh, there we go. It's on the...
he just kind of like lets it out of one of his pant legs.
James is some guy who shits himself in a shop and then is obviously trying to hide it. That's what we're watching.
Oh, never mind some napkins. Let me just further smush it into your, ground with my shoe.
I know he's awkwardly thinking, fuck, can I just get out of here, please?
When you're cut like that, just admit it. Help them clean it up.
Yeah, Green Thunder, that was for you.
Hi, James R.A. Woodwright.
A shopper has been caught on camera pooing himself in a supermarket, letting it run down his leg and then trying to kick it away. Disgusting footage shows the shopper bending slightly forward before walking towards the counter, leaving a small present on the floor behind him. Well, I am pleased I ate before this. You probably should be. While at the counter of the supermarket in Turkey, he allows another lump of poo to fall out of his shorts and onto the floor, which he then attempts to kick under the ice cream fridge.
Under the ice cream fridge. Where all the kids get ice cream.
I was thinking for a while English song. I also like how you call it farted. Like fitting really given this article. Imagine if you probably just went for a fart and thought it'd be safe, but clearly not. And yes, a little bit cryptic penis. But instead of concealing the smelly lump, he ends up smearing it across the floor with his blue sandals. The male cashier arrives and appears to inquire about the first lump of poo left in the aisle.
How do you inquire about, like, is this yours?
Where the fuck that came from?
Dude, I see another shopper doing that. I'm not going to carry on as in nothing happened.
Someone did that in my shop. I think they would be definitely banned from the... The nonplussed shopper carries on as if nothing happened. At the end of the clip, the chilly man pays for his items and leaves behind a messy collection of feces for someone to clean up. The incident was filmed.
At least help, bro.
Yeah, I mean, at least like say, look, I had an accident. Can you please help me clean up?
Put one of those, it's slippery right now here on the floor type signs, the yellow warning ones.
At least if you had a kid, you could probably blame it on the kid or something, but...
He doesn't even have a kid to blame it on, or a doggy.
The incident was filmed in Karachi in the northwestern Turkish province of Sakarya and later first shared on social media. And Cryptic says you're loud and clear.
Thank you, Cryptic.
It's unclear what the supermarket's reaction was or if they're looking into press charges. In a similar incident in the US, a woman was caught on camera dropping a poo inside an aisle as she walked through a building lobby. Security footage shows the woman nonchalantly into the foyer before flicking her short. Some adjuster just lolls the excrement onto the floor and then never stopped moving. The unidentified woman picks up the pace before a fecal felony is detected. So yeah, if you're gonna
go ahead, Scotty. I'm sorry.
That's fine. If you're gonna fart in the shop, don't.
I was gonna say that's kind of a thing. When I was in the service, we had someone we called the phantom shitter because they would just like shit in random hallways or, you know, in your berthing, which is like a living area, or, you know, and we did have CCTVs in the area, and then we finally caught him doing it in one of the chief's like sleeping areas. Very sick people out there.
Yes, they are.
Maybe that guy was an accident. I don't know. But if it was an accident, like, at least help him clean up.
Yeah, that's what they should do anyway. They won't, though.
Tom of Loxley, evening farting. Yeah, be careful farting if you feel something out there.
And far in, it's
Make sure your fart is in the clear.
It's an acronym for failing at reading the news.
Oh! I've been gone a long time. I love it.
You see, I was amazed when I went. I was like, why didn't I think of that?
I love it.
I should have thought of that.
You could still use it. Farting 1, 2, 3.
As a kid, I ever felt like changing it. Really wouldn't actually be changing the title.
You wouldn't be changing it. You'd just be using an acronym now.
Man becomes the first person in the world to die from vaping.
Interesting.
The man from Illinois, US, died from a severely long illness, as the US flagged 200 more cases linked to vaping. A man has died after vaping, which was reported to be the first such case in the world. Victim whose name or age has not been disclosed. Well, how am I supposed to believe it then? But he was from Illinois. Died after being admitted to the hospital. Somehow this is funny. It must have sucked. I imagine so. Made to hospital with a severe lung illness. Experts for Centers for Disease Control and Prevention believe he is among 200 cases of the pulmonary illness that have been linked to vaping.
Is anyone really surprised, though? I mean, they claimed it was safe and, you know, they put all these other things on it, but is anybody really surprised?
It's not safe, but it's a lot healthier than smoking. So I don't understand why some people are banning vaping. It's like, well, you're banning vaping because you claim it's going to get people to nicotine. Why don't you ban smoking then? Let's go to less deaths.
I like the pun, Cryptic. It must have sucked. Scotty, you said it too.
Popular alternative among teens and young adults is widely deemed safe and compared to traditional smoking, which ends up half the lives of users, the World Health Organization reports. Long-term effects of vaping are yet to be identified.
Can I tell you guys something? All those organizations that are pushing for vaping are paid by the same people who make cigarettes.
Yeah, I knew that anyway. I knew it was all a lobby.
Yeah, follow the money.
That's
Thank you, Tom of Loxley.
That's why when I thought that as well. And I've seen, like, I think it was a city in the US, it was either a city or a state in the US that banned them. So I thought, like, what fucking tobacco company lobbied them for this?
Yeah.
Patients are said to have shown symptoms such as shortness of breath, difficulty breathing, and chest pain. Well, that sounds like smoking, basically.
Mm.
And surely shortness of breath and difficulty breathing would go hand in hand, wouldn't it? And chest pain.
Yes, unless you would separate it into shortness of breath as in, and then difficulty of breathing as in how much oxygen is actually being put into your system. If that's what they meant, but it's saying the same thing. It's saying the same thing, yeah.
What I don't understand, though, is why don't big tobacco companies just branch out into vaping as well?
I don't know.
That would have been smart business heads.
Maybe if they pretended to be a different industry, they thought they could make more money and take sort of the focus off of them.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it's not better than long-term in tobacco.
No, not at all.
They claim it's 95% healthier. But again, as we say, it's only been around for a few years, so we don't know the long-term effects of it yet.
And you know, I'm kind of tired of that. I'm kind of tired of our population being the test rats of things that we have no idea what's going to happen, but here you go. Here's some, you know, with the opioid crisis. Here's a bunch of drugs. Here you go. We don't know what's going to happen.
Welcome, Chucker.
Hey, Chucker.
Hello.
Hi, Chucker.
Hi, Cuban. Still working on getting rid of you-know-who.
He's having a lot of fun, I guess.
Something about his shoes.
According to patients have said the patients have shown symptoms such as shortness of breath, difficulty breathing, and chest pain before being taken to hospital. Some reported diarrhea, vomiting, and fatigue. According to The Sun, it is believed to be the first of its kind in the world. Well, it's The Sun, so they're not exactly a very trusted source. Agree, Scotty, it's not tested long term. My mum certainly feel better after 3 years, though. The death was reported on Thursday. BBC reported 193 cases of lung illness across 22 states. They said the number has doubled in the past week, with just 94 cases being analysed across 14 states of August 2017. Well, it makes sense to be less because 14 compared to 22. I feel like that's a pretty shitty, lazy study, isn't it?
As many benefits as may come from vaping versus smoking an actual cigarette, to be honest, it's like the lesser of two evils. It's still going to be bad for you either way. You're still going to be addicted to something. I mean,
that's true.
And this is coming from a smoker. I still smoke cigarettes. I refuse to smoke. I vape other things.
I go up and smoke. Cryptic with another terrible pun there.
Cryptic, I love it. He let his life go up in smoke.
Where's Malfgreen with all these puns? Cryptic and Malfgreen are the ones with the puns.
I love it, yes.
Illinois Department of Public Health Director Dr. Ngozi Foreign branded the severity of the illness is alarming and warned the public that e-cigarettes and vaping can be dangerous. In a statement on Thursday, Gregory Conley, the president of the American Vaping Association, said he was confident the illness is due to the products containing cannabis or synthetic drugs, not cannabis. What?
Well, why didn't you list that in the study to begin with, that this was not just nicotine vaping, this was cannabis vaping? Those are two totally different test subjects. And
yeah, but it says here containing cannabis or synthetic drugs, not cannabis. That doesn't make any sense.
Cannabis or synthetic drugs, not cannabis. But why
We're
would the
ta-
product contain that if it's supposed to only contain
It's
nicotine?
gonna mean,
Those are two
it's gonna mean
different
like
things.
synthetic weed, I guess. I don't know.
When they're talking about the synthetic drugs, they're talking about the Cuban, you know, the fake pot that's going around.
The CBD oil,
The stuff that's
yes.
Oh,
no,
no.
not even
no,
CBD
no.
oil. It was
The actual fake stuff.
was-
The yes.
the actual synthetic pot. They're
Mhm.
talking about that. They're talking about drugs other than THC oil.
No, I know what
talking
about.
But why are they
fucking-
lumping it
fuck
into
you
this
up.
one vape study? This vape study should just be nicotine and vaping. That's
She
what
learned from
they're
me, that's what
portraying
she
it as.
told me.
They're doing it because it's the boogeyman.
So the
See, tricky.
The thing is, those like synthetic drugs will fuck you up.
No, they will. I actually, one of my best friend's husband is now, he has recurring psychosis from smoking that stuff in New York City. And she has to deal with him going in and out of, places because of that. It tapped to sort of this side of his brain where now he can't snap out of it. It's really sad.
Health agencies are currently analysing every single case in a bid to find any recurring pattern that could provide an answer to vape users contracting lung illnesses. Brian King, Deputy Director of Research Translation into CDC's Smoking and Public Health Division, said during a press briefing, the bottom line is that there is a variety of things in an e-cigarette aerosols that could have implications for lung health. Officials, however, have admitted the staggering case may be down to health agencies for previously failing to identify the cases. So, yeah.
I just don't think we will ever get an honest study out of any of these companies or corporations. And obviously, independent research is always going to be what it is.
Well, the thing is, independent research, when they say independent research, they just mean it's not performed directly by certain companies.
And it shouldn't be.
Funded.
The research shouldn't be funded by those companies. It should be funded by a different company. So there's no, what's the word I'm looking for? So everybody's kept honest, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. The thing about a lot of the problems with nicotine is, or not nicotine, vaping, is for one, most of the studies are usually funded by the tobacco companies, and then on top of that, the studies tend to be run in such a way where it's the absolute worst possible outcome, no matter what. Machines are overheated. Cotton is burned, which is not supposed to happen. Devices are abused. The substance they use is abused through it. It's the worst possible chemical substances. It's all made to look it's all made to make tobacco look better. And actually, as far as the long-term effects of vaping, no, it hasn't been around long enough for there to be specific studies for the long-term effects of vaping. But in a sense, there are people who you can actually ask, about long-term, there is a group that kind of sorta can be said to be a representative of the long-term effects as people who work with fog machines for a living, because it's the same thing.
I see.
Because those fog machines and vaping, it's the same chemical that has the reaction.
However, one would counter with those, and I'm sorry, Scotty, just real quick, one would counter with those, then that would be secondhand effects of vaping versus firsthand, though, because you're actually introducing it into your system versus a fog machine. It's in the climate, correct?
a secondhand effect. And well, no, I mean,
Wouldn't that differentiate it though? If you were to claim it as an actual, like, reference?
it is possible depending on the placement of the fog machine.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, I mean, if you talk secondhand machine, that's anybody, your secondhand exposure to vaping.
Mm-hmm.
That's anybody who's been to a nightclub, anybody who's been to a
Of course.
circus.
Mhm.
Hell, anybody that's been to one of those damn laser tag bouncy house games.
Of course.
So
When he died, did he run out of gas?
He did run out of gas.
All research has some kind of bias. Doesn't matter if the company themselves, funded by interest groups, or just the researchers themselves, are searching for a particular correlation slash outcome. Yeah. My time for some mornings ran bad. Squad member Rashida Tlaib claims white supremacist Trump is afraid of women of color and claims president attacks fellow Democrats to distract voters from poverty and his failed administration. Yeah.
oh, fuck out of here with that shit.
Rashida Tlaib has attacked Trump as a white supremacist in her first interview since declining Israel's invitation to visit her grandmother in the West Bank. And that pretty much shows that she wasn't even there to visit her grandmother. It was just an excuse.
It was an excuse, and when they come to speak about, or when they decide to speak about this thing where Israel said, well, you can come here if ... It didn't work out that way. Rashida Tlaib actually wrote a letter to the Israeli government begging and pleading because of her grandmother, and they said, fine, okay, you're allowed in. And that's when she threw with the, well, that's all right, I'm not coming anyway kind of thing.
Well, here's another thing. I think there were actually several weeks prior a group of Democrats and Republicans that went there where she could have had the freedom of speech to say whatever she wanted to. However, her and Omar refused for whatever reason to go with that group because they want special privileges, so they continue being in the eye of the media. This is all done as a political farce propaganda. This is a distraction.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing right now.
It's become very clear to me, especially this last week, that he's scared of us.
Oh, yeah.
He told The Guardian in an interview published on Sunday.
He's shitting himself.
He's afraid of women of color because we're not afraid of him. You're not afraid of him, but you literally have Trump derangement syndrome.
Fuck out of here with that shit.
You're not afraid to speak up and say that we have a white supremacist in the White House. It was a hate agenda. Yeah. Against who exactly? If you really had a hate agenda, you'd mention the groups he hates. And you probably cite examples of where he's done it. You clearly don't. What he's doing by choosing us four as his target is trying to distract folks from the fact there are more people living in poverty than ever, citation needed. Compared to what fucking time? Compared to when? Like the fucking Middle Ages? I think, really.
You know, poverty levels is such a damn subjective term. In America, how many people are considered below the poverty line that have one car, two cars, a television, air conditioning, refrigerators, microwaves? I mean, how many people are considered poor in America that have all the luxuries that are, very American?
Yeah, poor in America is considered luxury in the first world, then in the third world.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, so like you.
Well, hell, when you can walk in, when you can walk into, take the Philippines for example. There's a lot of men that go over to the Philippines to try to woo women that are over there. They walk over there with $10,000, and he hits the Philippines. He might as well be a damn millionaire.
Yep. So more poverty than ever. That's citation needed on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Because he has failed as a president. She continued. to leave a Minnesota Democrat. Well, Minnesota, so you mean a state that's been destroyed by socialism, yeah.
Well, Minnesota actually hasn't been destroyed by socialism. It's just that particular area, or yeah, Minnesota and Dearborn.
That was confusing with me. Has been subject of criticism from Trump along with her fellow progressive squad members, Reps Ilhan Omar, Ayanna Presley, and AOC. In the latest, but Trump said that he did not buy her tears after Tlaib wept at a press conference after declining Israel's offer to let her visit her grandmother. Yeah, I agree because it was clearly just used for sympathy. If she really wanted to visit her grandmother, then she would want to see her. I suppose she just wanted to go to Israel to start shit. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
And either way, she's always going to be the victim. Either way, she's always going to be looking good. Can we please stop calling them squad? Please. I was so over that like last year and the year before that.
But they're the squad.
No.
You bigot.
They're fighting evil Nazis like Trump, you know. They're the ones that defend our rights and get us all out of poverty and make the world a better place.
They're the ones that are going to save America. Woe is us. The country of perpetual victimhood.
Not even save America, save the whole world.
Right. By bombing Tel Aviv and one other Israel site at the time, right?
Yeah, probably.
Are you supposed to say disavow? I don't know. Was that a bad remark? Was that untrue?
I don't know. There are things that are true that I can't say either.
All right. Well, there you go.
Like saying someone who married a 6-year-old isn't a pedophile. Like saying someone who's a 6-year-old is a pedophile. Married a 6-year-old isn't a pedophile. That's not allowed.
Can I tell you guys something? I'm very proud of myself. I don't know. Somebody mentioned to me that is not allowed anymore. And in the past 2 days, I have banned 8 maps off of Twitter. 8 of them got banned because I sat there and I psycho reported them. I even was to the point where it was like, yeah, it's hurting me because it's encouraging my young child to be talking to these people. You know, I got pretty, I mean, one of their handlers was Little Girl Lover. Little Girl Lover.
Yeah,
anyway. I know we're getting off topic. I'm very sorry, but I was very proud of myself for that. Anyways, please continue.
Tlaib was first denied, then granted the visa to Israel to visit her grandmother in the West Bank, but then refused, saying it came with unspecified restrictions. Well, obviously. But again, if you really wanted to see her, you would have went to fucking see her. On Friday, Tlaib also courted controversy with remarks suggesting that Israel occupation was to blame for the bombing and death of an Israel teenager in the West Bank. Tlaib's remark came in response to the death of Rina Shenarb, 17, who was killed in a bomb blast while hiking with her family in the near Dolev settlement northwest of Jerusalem. The Israeli military said it was being treated as a terrorist attack. It was not immediately clear if the device had been planted in advance or thrown. Either way. In her latest remarks, Tlaib expressed sympathy for the slain Israeli teen, but drew criticism from some for her language. This is absolutely tragic and horrible. My heart goes out to Rina's family more than ever. We need to support non-violent approaches to ending the Israeli occupation and guarantee equal rights for all. Even though there's never been a country called Palestine in the whole history of the world. Nowhere in recorded history has ever been a country called Palestine. And that is a fact. So what exactly is Israel occupying? I suspect there were no maps. No adults should legit. There were maps. No adults should really need for any legitimate purpose. No. Even if the innocent lives at risk, leaves us no closer to peace. She continued. One trader user responded, I appreciate your comment, but recalling Israel's presence in its territories and occupation is false and hostile language, not conducted to peace. No, it's not. Another disagreed. Well, no, it's an occupation. Your unwillingness to call it what it is not conducted to peace. Well, no, you're not. You're the ones not conducted to peace because if you say it's an occupation, then how is anybody ever going to agree to anything ever on that side?
Yeah.
All right. Bear with me with my train of thought real quick. Would this be a straw man's argument to say, all right, since we won the Mexican-American War, that part of Mexico is now America, and it comprises of many of our states. We could say, are we occupying Mexican land right now?
Was it not the Spanish-American War?
No, I'm talking about the Mexican-American War, where we took Texas and California from them.
Yeah, we wouldn't have been Spanish, wouldn't it?
I'm sorry?
I know there was a Spanish-American War.
Or am I mistaken?
I think it may have been the Spanish-American War, wasn't it?
No, I think it was the Mexican-American War. But I know the Spanish occupied a lot of Mexico as well. I know they were after them. But what I'm thinking of is when we took over California and Texas. Now, is this a straw man's argument to say, are we occupying Mexico's land right now because we did this several hundred years ago? Is this sort of the same thing that they're trying to allude to, that, well, Israel is occupying this land has always been ours, but because of certain factors, whether it be war or conquest, it is now Israel's. The conversation is moot. Do you guys understand what I'm trying to ask? Please help me with my train
I wouldn't
of thought.
necessarily say it. I wouldn't say.
Yeah, that's not U.S. land, Cuban Valley. You'd be occupying it if it was still disputed. Yeah. I guess it is kind of occupation because it's disputed land.
Right. So it's still disputed, though, but I thought it was undisputed now.
No, I mean, I want about Israel-Palestine is disputed land.
Okay, so it is still disputed. Okay, thank you very much for the clarification.
Because obviously there's still two countries fighting over said land.
Okay. I always like learning new stuff on here. Thank you, guys.
Even though there's several disputed territories all over the world, really. I think this is the most serious one in the world. Israel has controlled the West Bank since 1967. Even the terminology for the situation is hotly contested between pro-Israel and pro-Palestine advocates. Tensions have been high in the West Bank in recent weeks, fueled by clashes between Palestinian and Israeli police. Jerusalem holy site reversed by both. The clashes erupted at the Flashpoint compound which Jews call the Temple Mount and Muslims call the Noble Sanctuary. On the 11th of August, as Islamic and Jewish holidays conceded. Rena, the slain Israeli teen, was hiking up with her family at a popular spring when he was killed in a blast. Israel's Megan David Adab ambulance service confirmed that her father and brother were named by Israeli media as Rabbi David Datan, 46, and 21-year-old Dever were also injured in a serious condition. A large crowd of mourners gathered outside on Friday for the teenager's funeral in the hometown of Log. When the body was covered in a white shroud adorned with the Star of David. This is insane. Everything that's happening here, I still can't believe it. Said Sinerv's sister Tamar. Only yesterday Ruby was here, but joyful as always. Wait, you were happy and made everyone happy. You do so. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said condolences to the family and said security forces were pursuing the attackers. Hello, Winston Prick.
Oh, shit.
Long on the video, reaches to those who survive.
Hi, Inkton Pricked.
Netanyahu said in a statement how they will continue to strengthen the settlement. We'll deepen our roots and strike our enemies. I thought this article is just like going a completely different thing now. I'm not even criticizing Trump anymore, they're just talking about this stuff, so we're probably going to move on now. See how Orange Man Bad, he's an evil white supremacist. And he should probably be killed. Or something, at least according to these people. Anyway, moving on. Scots are bad for the planet. You know, Cryptic, sadly, I have to agree. You can have a nice segue for this, though. Oh, we lost Trucker. He'll probably be back. You give me a nice segue. Okay, I was a lot back there when I was going there. Anyway. Outrageous racist gollywog spotted on sale in Scott's shopping centre. Which did carry all off to do doing IRL shit, but had to tell the Scots what I like. I'm glad it's up to you, brother. Well, thanks, Freedom. Thanks for coming by.
Bye, Dangerous Freedom.
Shit.
Do you have gollywogs over there?
Whoops.
Do you have gollywogs in America?
Do we have what in America?
Yeah, I believe it's called Americana.
No, gollywogs.
Yeah, we call the genre. It's supposed to be an art. It's called Americana. They sell like salt shakers like this, dolls, stuff you can put on your porch.
Tchotchkes.
I have gollywog dolls that also. Dolls
Yeah.
that black people are on display in the bedding shop in Crystal Clear in Savoy Centre in Glasgow. So do you have these? You ever seen these before? I'll take that as a no.
What was the question?
Have you ever seen these before?
I have seen these. Yes. I actually think
Suck.
I saw them in Cuba too.
Those just look like rag dolls. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some people that think they're racist because it's supposed to be like black people.
By the way, hello, Dangerous Freedom.
Yeah,
You gotta go, so bye, Dangerous Freedom.
I mean, yeah, it's racist. Yeah, Cryptic, they're seen as racist, yes.
Yes, but if anybody is interested in the genre, they sell them online. It's called Americana, and it's like salt shakers, and it's just to show you what history used to be, so you don't forget, I guess.
Hello, Moth Queen. Reacted with fury after it emerged that gollywogs are being sold in a Scottish shopping centre. The dolls which caricature black people. Maybe.
No, they just seem to be like Cuban. If you remember the old Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy dolls,
yeah,
it just looks like, honestly, It looks like
them
black
just
versions
black.
of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, which in a case like that's actually
Hi.
history-wise, that's not really that uncommon. I mean, because for every doll that was made as a white person, it was also made as a black person. So I really don't see the problem.
Oh, yeah, I don't think there is white versions of them, though. I think there's only black versions.
See, that might actually be the problem then, because over here it's a matter of white dolls, black dolls. So they're just rag dolls.
Or at least I've only ever seen the black version. I've never seen the white versions of them.
If you look up Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy, those are white person's versions. And
Where's the yellow version? I don't think
gingers.
The yellow version. An employee said they were selling well for $8.99 for a small one and $12.99 for a larger doll. Yeah, gollywogs are just black here. She said calling them gollywogs.
Cuban has a new microphone.
She said calling them gollywogs would be considered racist, but they refer to them as golly dolls.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, the work around it, our foreign friends buy them. Different nationalities, you've never had an issue with their sale. Racism right there, no yellow.
Actually, Cryptic, have you ever seen those emoji plushies? Horse shit, most of the plushies now are yellow if you include them, so overrepresentation.
The work around it, our foreign friends buy them. Different nationalities, we've never had an issue with their sale. Yeah, it just takes one person, though, doesn't it?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, but
if one person deems it, it must be so.
Yep. One human rights lawyer, Amir Anwar, said, "I can't believe that anyone with a share of decency would be selling golly dolls. We're selling gollywogs, especially in a center frequented by families and their children." It's not as if this is a new thing, though. I mean, I've seen them in shops before. Yeah. Damn right, we're like 3 billion of the world's population. Yeah. It's deeply offensive. It's deeply offensive and a racist relic from the Dark Ages that has no place in 21st century Scotland. Gollywogs are black-skinned dolls with exaggerated lips and frizzy hair. They're and are based on a character created by kids off of foreign up to in the 19th century. The dolls were created during a racist era and were based on minstrels demeaning, ridiculing Negroes by whites in black makeup. It's okay for you to say the word Negro, though, isn't it?
Yeah. You would have a lot of turned heads here if you said that. Just like if you called anybody colored.
It's person of color now, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you reword that and say
but you could reword it. See, all this is a play on words, guys.
It's stupid.
To stroke your emotions. To stroke your egos.
A spokesperson for Show Racism the Red Card said, "We are extremely saddened. The sale of these dolls perpetuate racism." No, they don't. And they aren't back to a time when the mockery and stereotyping of black people was considered a social norm, rendering black people submissive and lesser. Why would they just like the doll, though? You know? Suppose most people like them just like the fucking doll. I don't stroke my ego myself, on the other hand. Yeah, okay, good. I think you probably stroke your ego and stroke yourself with the other hand. And we urge the public to refrain from buying such overly racist items, and we hope selling gollywogs would be considered. Hope the shop selling gollywogs would consider taking them out of the store, as one cannot profit from the oppression of an entire community. That's a bit of an overstretch, isn't it?
A bit.
Yeah. That's a major overstretch.
See, I'm sure that like I said, as far as over here, over in the U.S. goes, there were white versions and black versions of those dolls. So, I mean, I'm sure they're definitely ignoring that there may have been white versions of the dolls as well.
I've never seen any white versions of them, so.
See, there's the thing. I grew up seeing the white versions everywhere. I mean, they were everywhere. I don't know.
So yeah, that's probably why they're considered racist. Anyway, moving on. I think a little bit more upbeat now. Go load, go on load. A hilarious moment, a man gets swarm of bees stuck up his bum.
Well, that must have been a pain in the ass. Aha!
I was on vacay. It's nice that you guys are still here. Sad about GPP though. I'm glad about Alex, but how about Alex though? Kind of sad for GPP. Just sad Friday Bear. Yeah, life gets in the way, I guess. Yeah.
He's got to do what he can to further his life. Unfortunately, if bettering his position in life involves saying goodbye to most of it, that's the breaks.
His butthole must be buzzing in pain. I can imagine. As he moves, he's gonna get stung though. You sure I'm stuck there now.
As long as he moves slowly to where they don't swarm, he should be fine. As long as it's honeybees, a lot of times honeybees don't necessarily want to sting you.
Yeah, because they'll die if they do.
Yeah.
Literally, it's just a last resort. I feel that's kind of cruel, though. Why give them a stinger for self-defense when they'll die if they sting you anyway?
I don't know.
I feel like that's a flaw in nature, that.
Not really. Not really if you really think about it. I mean, bees are kind of harmless. Like I said, they only do it in self-defense, really. It's not like wasps. Wasps are little cunts.
Yeah, wasps are dicks.
Yeah, because, they'll sting you and just keep on stinging you.
Bees are useful. Because they pollinate flowers and plants and stuff, so that's actually useful to us.
And give us tasty food. Honey.
Yeah, was he saying still, or was this just an experimental thing? I can't imagine anyone would want to experiment with that. Put the wasp in the showers, I agree. There was a hilarious moment a swarm of bees decided to sit home on a man's bum. The footage shows Villahu with buzzing insects stuck in his jeans after his queen led her family to his backside.
So the queen landed on his ass. That explained a lot.
Yeah, good a place as any to build a hive, I guess.
Well, warm and dark and humid.
The creature adheres himself to the 25-year-old while he was driving to a garage in Kohima near Nagaland, India. Yeah, they do always follow the Queen. His passenger who filmed the event said, "We were on our way to the garage when the Queen came by flying, eventually landing on his arse." Soon, swarms of them joined her. After struggling for a while, he managed to soon grab the Queen and tore her wings. Partly. Why did he manage to do it without getting stung, though?
just remain calm, really.
Yeah, but I feel like if you're attacking the Queen, you're gonna get stung.
Well, if you consider, I mean, if they considered attacking the Queen, but the Queen's sitting there chilling, doing her thing, and you're not really posing a threat to her, she's not going to sick them on you.
Yeah, but he tore their wing. He tore their wings off partially. So
Yeah, they'll grow back.
yeah, but that's still attacking the Queen. So I'm just surprised.
Yeah.
Why not just take your jeans off?
Now,
Probably because it's in the middle of public. That's probably why.
the problem is, I think dropping your drawers up would have agitated them way too much.
Yeah. He put her in a container, and the rest soon flew to it. Vallejo did manage to get the bees off, and they continued to swim around the Queen for a further 30 minutes. The passenger added, "We were amused and lucky to capture the rare natural phenomenon." Well, at least he managed to get them off. It takes gene therapy to fix their wings. Come on, Crippy. That's one of the worst ones yet. Better than that. Yeah, that one's just terrible.
See, now if the Queen had landed on if the Queen and the entire swarm had landed on the other side, we'd have to sit there and wonder where the hell is Thunder, because this would have been right up his alley.
Right.
No, I think the first article
No,
was
no,
right up his
no.
alley.
You know what? I saw one after Agent Penis came about. There was a call given into a school that had the school kind of in a worry because there was an FBI agent named Agent Penis that wanted to check out the dude's penises. And it actually made the news.
I remember Mandy sent me that one, yeah. That's
Yeah, I sent it to Agent Penis too. Like, is this your work?
No, that's how Agent Penis came about, because I read that on stream. So that's how Agent Penis became a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I thought Agent Penis became a thing because some chick showed up at the CIA headquarters in Quantico asking for Agent Penis.
Yeah, but that's how Green Thunder came up with the account, though.
Oh.
Yeah, Florida teacher placed on leave after telling students he'd be the best skill shooter.
Wow.
Damn.
I think he was
Florida.
It must have been scary. Yeah, must have been. Fuck off, Sky is good. No, Cryptic, no, it wasn't. A Florida high school teacher has been placed on administrative leave after reportedly bragging to students on August the 13th they would make a great skill shooter and describing ways about how he would go about the violent act. Really? I mean, he may have been joking, but I feel like you probably shouldn't.
Yeah, not a good idea.
No. Parents of students at Land Lake Senior High School in Lakeland, Florida, received an alert that a maths teacher, Keith Cook, 51, had been placed under a risk protection order on Wednesday after he remarked he would be the best skill shooter within a 1,000-person body count. Okay. Yeah, I feel like maybe it's a little bit too far there. Maybe. You know?
A little bit.
Yeah, during a lockdown drill, the RPO allows police to confiscate any weapons the suspect may have. They searched his car and home and found no weapons. If we conduct an investigation, we will find that the person is dangerous to themselves or someone else. You have a firearm, we can risk the protection of court. We can't unilaterally do this and say, hey, we need to turn out. The court can give us temporary risk protection order. Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd told Fox 13. Being a former Marine, he should have. Yeah, see, Marines are fucking crazy. Like,
yeah.
What I've heard about Marines are batshit insane. I find that's an understatement.
Mm-hmm. Well, not that they're insane; they're just not that bright.
Hey, I'm a Marine. Yeah, cryptic. Let's see, that kind of explains it. Then, like, I'm not really too surprised about that.
Well, I'm sure Cuban can back me up on this. I mean, you know, you heard about all the Marines kept getting killed on aircraft carriers because they're throwing bread at the incoming helicopters. Here, birdie, birdie, birdie.
Yes, they do a lot of wonderful things. Like, if you stand in line in front of a door and grab a couple of you and just sit here and stand, you'll get some Marines that'll stand in line behind you, and eventually you'll get a full line of Marines, and then you just walk away and they're like, what were you standing in line for? I don't know.
Again, Cryptic and Tennessee Marine are like the only Marines I know, and they're pretty cool, so yeah, I get.
I mean, they're cool. They're amazing people. They're willing to do what they need to do for our country. So I have a lot of respect for them.
Muscles are required, intelligence not essential.
And we teabag each other. Yeah, being a former Marine, he should have looked.
Now it's said and done. I tell you what, if there, with all the joking aside, if there's somebody I wanted to have standing there with a lead pipe behind me, that'd be a Marine, because them fuckers don't show much mercy at all.
A Marine or a Gurkha. Have you ever heard of the Gurkhas?
Hmm.
A Marine or a Gurkha. You ever heard of Gurkhas?
Gurkhas.
Yeah, they're like the soldiers that come from Nepal, I think, and they're tiny. They're like 5 foot tall, right? But they will fuck you up.
Can't say I've heard of them.
Like, well, the British Army recruits them, and they're insane.
Nice.
They don't look like monsters, but they will beat the living shit out of you. And
yeah. I tell you, my son's godfather is a Marine, and I tell you what, if there ain't one guy, I'd rather if there's one guy I want, going after my son's bully, that'd be that bud. That's a man that'll sit and, if somebody walks up to him and says, your son needs this to save his life, but you're going to have to sit there and slice the nose off your face. He'll ask, so what kind of knife am I doing it with? A butter knife or a K-bar? And he'll start slicing. He'll just sit there and start sawing.
Being a former Marine, he should be looked as a person who will protect the students and not make them question whether their teacher is looking to harm them. 16 students were interviewed about Cook's remarks, where they told them if he was a school shooter, he planted and pulverized explosive device, fire a couple of rounds, and wait for everyone to hide, then press the button and boom, everyone would die. Yeah, Gurkhas are the hardest motherfuckers. Yeah, they are. You mean Gherkins on a pickle, surely? Gherkins and Gurkhas are different things.
I hate to say it, I can't. When it comes to Gurkhas, I can't say I've ever heard the term today. I've never heard the term until today, so I had to come up with some sort of joke.
Fair enough. Got my ankle snapped by NCO, and we were cool after that. And then a student told police that Cook told them he would put a bomb in the corner, put nails in it for shrapnel. So he could have said he made a nail bomb, but you had to increase that because, word count. Get more money for you. Cook who has no criminal history, is currently on administrative leave while the school directly investigates the school district investigates the case. Superintendent of Polk County School District, Jacqueline M. Bird, says We are cooperating fully with the law and investigating as well as conducting our own internal investigation. I mean, I guess he was only joking. They can't really do anything other than maybe like fire him, I guess. That's really the only thing they can do, isn't it? And even they're even allowed to do that.
That's really about it. I mean, all they can really do is fire him. But if he has tenure, I mean that'd be kind of hard to even fire him under that.
Because I mean, would not get done for unlawful dismissal or something?
Not really. He's just saying he's not saying he was going to. He was saying if he would, that's what he would do.
Every day, Polk County is entrusted with the lives of more than 100,000 precious children. As superintendent, I will do everything I can to protect every single one of them, Barrett said. Students and parents should be assured that we will take any potential threat against our students and schools seriously. Student safety is always will be paramount. It is and always will be paramount within our school district. Hello, Chadwick.
Hello, Chadwick.
Oh, me.
Hey, Chadwick.
I sent to parents on Wednesday. Let them know about the situation and tell them that children were safe. It's up to all the parents of all the over 100,000 kids. Or just in that school itself. Blaine goes backstage. Yeah.
Yep.
Heidi ho, good people.
Hey, BG.
Hey, Flanders.
I'd just like to make a note that I can't host Blind Trucking tonight because I'm too angry and too tired.
I'm sorry, darling.
That's fine.
Oh, you just spent the last hour arguing, have you?
My mother, actually. I'll tell you off air because it is truly savage.
Okay. In my opinion, I feel like it was not a good thing to say that in front of children due to many situations from these problems. One student, according to the ledger, I don't know if he was being serious or joking, but the fact that it should not be said in front of children. Cook is scheduled to appear in court on the 5th of August for a hearing on a final risk protection order. So, yeah, I feel like there's nothing they can really do because, I mean, he hasn't really been proven to do anything.
Nope.
Fire him, really, that's all they can do.
Pretty much.
And he probably shouldn't have joked about it. Of course, for those who just got here, there was a teacher who was joking about being a school shooter.
Yeah, that reminds me we were talking about like Meet the Fockers and Ben Stiller when he was like, can't say bomb on an airplane, bomb, 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 bomb. Yeah, it's just kind of one of those things I guess you can't joke around about anymore.
I guess you can joke around about it, but like...
Context is everything.
Not to the extent that guy went way overboard.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, there were a lot of teachers that would sit there just out and out say, "Boy, I will kick your ass across the damn hallway."
Mm.
You know, I mean, there were some tough talking sons of bitches. When I was in school, whatever happened to them?
I don't know.
Oh, I'll say they probably all got fired because because everybody else's vaginas were hurting because of them. I guess I don't know.
Maybe. Who's texting right now? Someone's texting.
That'd probably be blind. That'd probably be blind girl.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah, Chadwick remembers them too. They got old. Shit, they were old when I was in school.
Hello, Jason now. So yeah, for those who are watching Pumpkin Ducker Scene, this was the fucking thing I was talking about earlier. Now, this student better not get struck down for this. I'm not going to be happy if it does. Go on, load.
We're waiting.
Indonesian pop stars and Indonesian pop stars and the Watermelon duo. The Watermelon duo are forced to publicly apologise by authorities for their video song Bounce, which is deemed too sexually suggestive. A pair of Indonesian pop singers were calling themselves Watermelon's duo. Trust me, they live up to that name. Not lying. I've been forced to apologise for the Bounce video, which was deemed too sexual. The duo's raunchy moves to see them both jump up and down while grating a shopping centre's car parks were summoned to the Indonesian Children's Commission. Because I feel like this thing probably wasn't really for children, though. So why are they getting summoned to the Children's Commission? I can understand if they're like for kids.
All I can really say is fuck out of here with that shit.
Yeah, you know.
You want to see some raunchy shit? Take your ass over to the U.S. and watch a goddamn music video here. I mean, goddamn, there's women wearing clothes that you can tell their damn grooming habits.
Yeah, and they get shown during the day as well.
Yeah.
10 o'clock in the morning and stuff. You see stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Called duo Sagbaga in Bahasa, Indonesia, which translates to Watermelon's duo. Singers Clara Copa and Vanya Kira were reprimanded by authorities. The country's Commission for the Protection of Indonesian Children called the women into questioning for their comments and reported the complaints by the public. I think it's not even that bad, though. Like, I mean, really.
I don't think so at all.
Yeah, I'm not complaining about this. I am not complaining about this. Also, smash a pass. Oh, you can show us a little thing. Better not get fucking copyright for this shit. Like, if you're complaining about this, you need better life. Like, this isn't even that bad.
I'll take that chubby one. If I wasn't married.
Yeah, those are some nice tits, though. You know, I feel like.
How is this cryptic? Is this better for everyone?
I feel like, you know.
Are we looking at girls? They're pretty.
You were looking at a music video. Yeah, see, most people are saying smash. At this point, I'd smash anything. Bit of a dry spell recently.
Yeah, I'd say smash to one of them.
I'd smash both of them at the same time.
Okay, a bit more.
Okay.
A bit more, less, or more? Okay.
I keep the background music down, noise down.
How is this?
Defending for your speech.
Thank you guys so much for your patience.
Reportedly.
Those are really nice boobs, though. Oh my god, imagine if that just ripped off.
I'd get my stream would get taken down.
But good god, those around your face. All right, let's.
Featured Copa and Kiara.
Yes.
Reportedly.
All right, how is that?
Insured their breasts for $1 million.
Better.
Nearly £60,000 dancing in the
Math queen, you are supreme.
Yeah, Kiara was the
I'm sorry, Scotty. I'm like totally
derailing the hell out of that. I really derailing the fuck out of this stream, Cuban. It's not.
Look, how can you show me boobs and not expect me to just like all of a sudden be like, what? Boobs? Oh my god, what are you talking about? Who's boobs? Oh, I got to turn this gain down. Wait a minute. Boobs? All right, so let me hush now. Please continue, Scotty.
Yes, please. Let's hear more about the boobs.
The offending footage featured Copa and Kiara reportedly reportedly insured their breast for nearly 1 million rupiah, nearly 60,000 pounds, dancing in the song titled Bounce. Kiara was replaced by Clara May earlier this month, although 3 women attended the meeting in the KPAI. Susanto, head of the KPAI, told local media, said the complaints which concerns the videos were against the values and appropriateness according to Indonesian newspaper Tribun News. He added, "We fear children and will intimidate their moves, so we are merely seeking clarification." Well, you know what? Then that's the job of the parents to make sure the kids don't see it. Then I don't know if Blind Girl might disagree with that. I don't know because she always seems to.
No, although could you send me that article later so I can steal that boob pic and put it in my meme reel?
Okay. What
Thank
for?
you. So I can steal that picture off the article and put it in my meme reel.
I thought you wouldn't want it.
Dude, if everybody is that hyped about the boobs, yeah.
Oh yes, it's very nice. If I could, can I describe it to you? It would,
like
Scotty,
That is up
be
to
okay?
Scotty.
Scotty, would it be okay for me to describe that one scene real quick?
Okay.
Well, she's walking up and she's wearing this like red shirt, but they're like bouncing like back and forth like vertically. But her red shirt also has this like lace thing that looks like they're just about to just like pop out. And I think that's what everybody got excited. Well, me, and then I got everybody hyped up. But
I can't find much more
that
to
for my meme reel. I need that for my meme reel just so that I can make people pay attention by looking at tits.
I just read it really slowly. After meeting with the commission, the singers apologized to the public, according to local media. The pair told reporters this will be a lesson for us to be careful in the future and then try and entertain in a more positive way. No, you know what? Fuck you. I enjoyed that video. You should continue. Carry on. Be more. You have nice dates. Our sexy image will still be there, but we'll try and cover up anything vulgar. It wasn't even that bad.
No, they weren't.
Sonny Bill, manager of Dio Foreign, said the pair will change their content and added the videos were perhaps not good enough, not too good for the young generation and Indonesian children. Well, it's not the fucking government's job to tell you what's good and what's bad for children. That's the fucking direct use, and it shouldn't be.
Wait a minute. How old are these girls? Did I just say something really bad?
No, I don't think. I think they're adults.
They're of age, right?
I fucking hope so.
Well, okay, are they not allowed? Are they not allowing parents to wear that around kids at school?
I don't know because it's a music video.
Oh, okay. Well, then yeah, that's no problem.
I couldn't really see their faces, so I do apologize if they're younger. Ugh. All I saw was that. Yeah, that part.
So, depending on the context, the government should say what is to be around children, depending on the context. So I was just wondering what if they said anything.
It's a music video, and it's not even that bad.
Hmm.
In comparison,
that's why they are in trouble. I know, but I wasn't gonna implicitly say that, Cryptic, because Islam's amazing, obviously.
Yes, thanks for pointing it out. Because actually, in some of the stuff that we have seen in our music videos, this is really, really tame. Really tame.
Yeah, like if they let Miley Cyrus get away with shit, then this should be no problem.
Oh yeah, this is tamer than that.
Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of cleavage and they're just dancing around, really. You can see their boobs move as well.
Sharia law is a piece of doo-doo.
And the duo performed Dangdut music, which is popular in Indonesia and originates from traditional Hinduistani and Arabic music of the 1930s. The modern genre is causing outrage in the majority Muslim country for its sexually explicit content. You're no fun. Fuck you, Indonesia. Fuck you. Go fuck yourselves. You fucking absolute cunts. You're ruining fun. That's what you're doing. You're ruining fun.
You're giving me a complex.
Woof. And there we are. Thank God I just said it to you.
This mic can hear the dog barking down the street. I'm like literally almost whispering. And I just picked up that dog down the street.
It's a strong Yeti.
Oh, goodness.
The government has no place telling people what they should and should not be watching unless it contains minors. It's parent. Unless it contains minors, it's a parenting / family matter. Yeah.
Thank you, Tom of Loxley. A lot of parents are getting their rights taken away from them as far as how they want to raise their children. Why is that? Why is that? I'm genuinely asking.
Well, you know what? In this context, like if it's a music video, technically there were already regulations that if there was anything too provocative, they could only air it at certain times so that children weren't likely to stumble upon it.
But then if you want my view on that, I think it should be like parents should take a close eye on what their kids are watching.
Well, the parents should be, but like governments installed that thing where more serious stuff was not, midday when little kids were home flicking through the stations to prevent kids from stumbling upon it while they were at home, either because half-day kindergarten or whatnot. So the government said, you know what, if you're going to have like explicit content, heavy news, ass shaking and stuff, they usually put it on in the more serious stuff on in the evening, and the later the night got, that's why horror movies were only playing late at night. Softcore porn was on at like 1 a.m, and it's because it's assumed that the children are in bed and therefore are not likely to stumble across it when they are channel surfing.
There's kind of have like similar laws that we have here. Like over here, it's like there's a thing called the watershed. Whereas after like 9 p.m., that's when you can like swear on TV. That's when like adult movies start to appear and stuff like that. Like
yes,
and movies that are rated,
that is for channel surfing. That is so while mommy is in the kitchen cooking dinner, the kid can't channel surf and stumble upon it and have its childhood ruined for life. Yes, that is exactly what that is for, and that I completely agree with.
I don't. I think it should be up to the parents.
Yeah, but here's the thing: you're expecting parents to be around their children 24/7 to be able to do that. So it is helpful to have explicit content after 9 so that kids don't stumble across it while they're looking for their cartoons. I think that's
what I think they should do is do what like Sky TV did like years ago, where on their movie channels they would have like movies that are rated like 15 and 18, but they would say like you would have to have like a special code for it so you could watch those films.
Wait a minute.
So that kid can just stumble across them.
Wait, are you literally saying I think it should be okay that you need a special code to watch something, but you're upset that other things have to be presented after 9?
I'm not saying
like you just suggested something that's more government regulated than what I was talking about.
No, because I think if a private company does it on its own volition, then it's fine. See? So if they choose to do that, then yeah.
Why do I fall into this argument trap every time? Why? Why do I take the bait? Why do I fucking take the bait? You know what? Yes. You know what? You should be allowed to have horror movies on during the day so that if a kid stumbles upon it, when the parent gets back in the room, then they can decide. Because you know what? Parents need to watch the kids 24/7. And as long as
that's why I'm saying something like the code thing that Sky has isn't a bad idea.
Yeah, but it is a bad idea because you're relying on personal companies to actually do it. So that means if companies don't want to do it,
I done it, so why wouldn't another company do it then?
Because not every company is that company, and because the company probably does it because the government has it set up that adult movies don't happen after 9, so they're just making it acceptable to air all day by having a code. If the government didn't set that standard, they probably wouldn't have felt the need to follow suit. And I know you're going to say, well, you don't know that, though.
What BG is explaining now, watershed, etc., is where it starts. The government starts the holding hands. Years later, you have a nanny state like parents choose. Yeah, exactly. So.
Oh, for God's sakes. The government has had that in place since before I was fucking born, and they still haven't become a nanny state. completely. So, like, having a restriction on television to just play it after 9 is not that big of a deal. It's called a compromise, people.
Yeah, is that like saying that should you say that you shouldn't be able to access certain websites until late at night then? That kind of thing, because a kid might see some adult watching porn or something, you know? Like, where does it stop?
Like searching stuff on the internet is much different than channel surfing. It's a completely different arena. And technically, that's why we have child lock.
Yeah, why can't TVs be installed with child locks then?
Well, wouldn't the government have to fucking implement that?
No, because I think actually there is a way to do it. You can like lock certain channels. So yeah.
Yeah, but if every TV station was just allowed to do whatever the fuck they want with no restrictions, then every channel would have to do that.
Maybe not, because there's still gonna be like dedicated kids TV channels and stuff. So
yeah, but again,
they're not anything.
Do you not understand the concept of channel surfing? Do you not know what that is?
Yes, when you flick through channels and try and find something interesting, I know.
Or say one kid's station is channel 2 and one kid's station is channel 25, and we actually had to use the remote to flick it that far. So if there were absolutely no restrictions, you could flick it onto something and go, hey, what's this? And it's a simple compromise to keep children from being exposed to that stuff. And it's not that big of a deal. You can't display hardcore stuff until after 9. Not that big of a deal. And I would hope that most people have a job, so why the fuck do you need to watch Saw 3 at noon? Come on now.
Well, if it's a Saturday on a Sunday.
Watch it in the evening. You don't have to work the next day anyways. Or buy the movie. Or download it.
I'm saying there shouldn't be restrictions on some things. And again, it's going to affect things like this.
You don't understand the morality of protect children. You just don't understand that at all. Other than in the instances of porn and rape and shit, you just don't seem to understand compromises to help
because
children
I'm
not.
And I shouldn't be fucking controlled by their own government just because a child might see it. That's why.
Because I believe the child seeing it is more important than you should be able to do whatever the fuck you want.
Why should I have to be held by this law because a kid might see it?
Because the kid's innocent is more important than your inability to get a DVD or download a torrent. Or your inability to compromise on anything ever.
These laws have already started to affect things like live streams in countries like Germany, so what's to suggest it's not going to happen over here?
Voting?
That's not going to do any good when the government... I mean, the way when all the parties are all fucked, so that's not going to help anything.
Well, considering we've had these regulations in for at least 30 years or older, we're kind of really we're waiting on that slippery slope, Scotty.
Well, like I said, Germany's an example of that. There's already people who've been revoked broadcasting licenses and stuff because they had like swearing and things before the watershed because they were broadcasting live.
That's Germany.
What's this? Not going to happen in Britain or in Canada or in America or whatever.
Go vote.
Yeah, vote for a party that's not going to get in.
Who's to say it will?
It'll happen in Germany. Who's to say it won't happen to anyone else? It could happen.
So did the Nazi Party.
That's not really an argument, is it?
Yeah. Your argument is it happens in one country. What's stopping it from happening in this country? And my argument is, well, Nazis happen in one country. What's stopping them from rising up in this country?
Think of the children has been used to bring so much authoritarian legislation that's getting stupid.
It has been, yes. It doesn't mean it's completely wrong to think of the children. It has been used for authoritarian. Doesn't mean it's a bad concept. Just because certain people use it for bad purposes doesn't mean the beginning use of it has no merit. For example, there are still victims in the world, but anybody that claims to be a victim now would go, "Oh, it's being used to oppress people." That doesn't mean the original sentiment of victim has no merit.
No, at the same token, you should be able to broadcast wherever you want, pretty much whenever you want, unless it's like rape and stuff. You're like,
Well, I guess.
at the end of the day, a kid's not gonna. A kid's not. How rare is it that a kid stumbles across a horror film? They might have a nightmare, but that's not a big deal, is it? Really?
I'm a prime example of one. God damn it. How many times have I talked about how I've been traumatized because my brother would watch horror movies around me, or I'd stumble across something gross like Terminator 2?
Well, that's just like a nightmare. That was just like a little nightmare you probably had as a kid. It's not a big deal, is it really?
A little nightmare that I had as a kid?
Yeah.
I was afraid to have televisions in my room because I was afraid of electronics until I was like 9. Don't believe me? Ask my brother. Sockbat's going to be around tomorrow night, so ask him. How often does the how the hell do you think we discovered where Blah Nui was? It's because my brother was channel surfing at 1 a.m. and found out that there's softcore porn on channel 11. How he discovered that was not the TV guide.
TV now has rating blocks, so you can set the TV to block PG-13 and above. See, that was my point, yeah. If you're that concerned about it, you can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I think you should do, is an alternative for that.
So an alternative to a simple solution is buy a specific kind of TV and set it up a certain way, just so you're appeased that the government didn't do it. It's the same thing. Different
it's not the
methods.
same thing. Because it
Technically
broadcast differently. It just does. It means things can get broadcast at the same time. Anytime.
How's it going, Trucker?
Yeah, Chucker, what's your opinion on this thing?
You want to know?
I'm not. I promise I will not argue with you. Please share.
Okay, so something that might traumatize a child, might be a negative impact on a child, should be prohibited, you were saying?
No. I was talking about how under the some code of Canada, America might have the same thing, but basically channels all agreed that if they were going to have like a horror movie or whatever, that would be played after 9:00 p.m. because they assumed that young children would be in bed. So like all really gory news, all horror films, all adult action movies and stuff was all set to be played after 9:00, so that children wouldn't watch it. So they wouldn't put like Terminator on at noon because a kid might be home to channel for a flick through it. So that was a compromise that was made.
Okay, I really
Terminator.
I'm gonna be right back.
Terminator, a movie like Terminator or something like that, something that's in a film that's inherently violent, will show up on the television channel, no matter really what time, no matter what time of the day.
Yeah,
it all depends on what you want. Now the thing about that is, there's going to be in the U.S. The problem is it'll be taken to an extreme, a complete extreme, no matter whatever it is. Even to the point, I mean, and it'll end up being taken to an extreme of they'll sit there and say anything that promotes an unhealthy sense of competition amongst children should now no longer be allowed on television.
True, although I did say this has been going on for over 30 years. Now, what I forgot, and I'm Google searching is...
Hold on. You just agreed true. Anything that agrees that's something that can promote an unhealthy health of competition. Well, no more that turtles fast. Or fast.
No, the restriction was only to violence, blood, and gore, and tits.
You don't seem to understand the slippery slope concept.
I do understand the slippery slope, but it's been enacted for over 30 years. However, I also learned that specialty channels like Spike TV are exempt from this.
Yeah. Also there are channels where it's like I can turn on Law and Order SVU at 3 in the afternoon and have Ice-T telling me that they found jizz and shit in someone's ear canal.
Right,
That
as long as As long as they don't show a nipple, they can talk about it all they want.
Yep.
Although usually those shows tend to be in late afternoon to evening, right?
No,
not
afternoon,
not
as in
necess-
2,
not
3 o'clock in the
necessarily.
afternoon.
Not
There are
necessarily. Not necessarily. I was watching NCIS at like 11 o'clock in the morning at the gym one time.
But yeah, late afternoon / evening is when kids are still awake, though. It's usually like dinner time. So,
No, I mean, if it's something like Sons of Anarchy, yeah, that's going to be on at like 10, 11 o'clock at night. Or like 1,000 Ways to Die. That was on at like 1, 2 in the morning.
I remember that show, yeah.
Yeah. And also, I have a bone to pick with something Blind Girl said. Terminator 2 is neither a horror movie nor gross.
Oh, she's muted right now. Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll have that argument later then.
Yeah, it's almost like innovation and private companies can come up with solutions about legislation and cryptic mentions. Yeah, agreed. So that can actually go a bit longer now, actually. I just realized that. Hey.
As long as you don't mind the dulcet tones of my shower singing on your stream.
That we're singing. No, you're getting
Yes.
You're getting muted. You think you're getting
Oh,
muted?
the other thing I forgot to say was all these rules were before satellite TV, so
Yeah, and
Satellite television's
made
been
a
around
difference.
since the 60s.
Yeah, well, it was like just basic cable stuff. So
Yeah.
that
And
kind of makes
also, well, I mean,
in America those rules
I
in
used-
America don't apply to cable TV or satellite. It doesn't apply to any kind of anything that would be considered decency rules in the U.S. Only broadcast or only apply to broadcast television, which is anything you can just hook an antenna up and get it straight out of the air.
which by the way, hey, did I just hallucinate this, or was there not the Playboy channel on basic cable that it was not hard to get access to?
No, it's not hard. It was on basic cable.
Yeah.
tits on TV isn't the fucking big thing because we have tits on the TV over here as well.
Well, over here, lady nipples are the devil and must be scrubbed from the TVs with bleach.
Surely on-demand streaming make this argument pretty void. Having a kid's account works fine, no government necessary. Yeah, I guess so. Because as TV is slowly going out gradually, I'm in favor of streaming services and things like that. Yeah, I guess it does. Problem really solved, really, isn't it? Yeah, so good night, James Woodwright. Yeah, anyway, getting on. Getting on from that. Porn has always been easy to access. Yeah, for the most part.
It's here. Sorry,
What's here?
I'm excited because guess what's here?
Bubble machine.
Chips.
Guess what's here?
Oh, the bubble machine.
Yes! It just showed up today,
Yeah,
or
very
just
well.
showed up now, so I'll have
yeah.
to send you pictures of his happy face on Monday. But yay! It's
Yes,
here!
I want to see like. Anyway, brutal border policies in Cali condemned after surge in attempted channel crossings. Boris Johnson warns migrants attempting to cross the UK will be sent back. Attempting to cross the UK will be sent back. Dude, I'm glad. Ministers of Hers have been urged to roll back brutal border policies in Cali. They are forcing migrants to attempt increasingly dangerous crossings into Britain.
Oh my god, this is so glorious!
I don't care. I'm trying to read my article.
Oh, sorry, I just
Bubble machine is more interesting.
it's so fucking glorious! Oh my god, this is so fucking amazing! Anyways, keep reading, honey.
You come out, did you?
So amazing.
Why
Think if you look at Canada right now.
Crossman for stating that he would send any asylum seekers to successfully cross the border back to France, branding the remarks inflammatory and misleading. The Home Office confirmed officers dealt with 64 people, including at least 6 children, who tried to reach England in small boats in 6 separate incidents on Tuesday and Thursday as attempts to reach the UK surged. Authorities have also found 30 migrants, including 11 children, attempting to make the crossing the same day. Back to the
I'll be right back.
Could you make it to France? Why don't you just fucking live in France? You know? It's not a fucking problem to deal with you. You want to come here, you come here legally. The Prime Minister told reports on Friday the point that remains people thinking of making this journey. One, it is very hazardous. You may think the weather looks great, but it's a very dangerous thing to do so. The second thing is, it will send you back. The UK should not be regarded as a place where you could automatically come and break the law by seeking to arrive illegally. Agreed. They sell bubble machines in a pound shop. Are they contraband in Canada?
No, just the cool ones. The cool ones. So I had a really amazing bubble machine and I spent like super big amounts of money on concentrated bubble stuff. So it would make like 500 bubbles is like a second or something, or like every 2 seconds or something. And then Trucker told me about the bubble machine that has blowy thingies on both sides instead of just one. And I went, oh, my son would just die. I need it. I must get to my son the bubble machine from space.
Sound like you're about to die in a minute.
I am. It's so amazing. I could die.
It comes after following the disappearance of a migrant woman who was presumed dead after attempting to cross the Channel to Britain on the 9th of August. She is the first person to have disappeared, presumed dead, attempting to seek asylum in the UK. Well, you know what? This sucks to suck. Charities have said this indicated an apparent rise in attempted border crossings when a coincidence of heightened border security in the area increased hostility by the French authorities. Why aren't you criticising the fucking French for doing that, but you're criticising us for doing that? So it was okay for France to do it, why isn't it okay for us?
It's your Scottish.
Yeah, but this is the UK as a whole, though.
Well, because you're woke. Not wrong. The UK is woke. That's why.
Maddie Allen, field manager at Help Refugees, said the notable rise in number of men, women, and children attempting to reach the UK by dangerous boat journeys across the Channel had not happened in void. She continued following extra funding agreements from the UK governments towards harsh security and surveillance measures grounds in Calais and Dunkirk. The routes are taken on increasingly dangerous. If they're in France, why don't we just make the fucking French deal with them? Why don't they just stay in France? France is probably a damn sight fucking better than the fucking shithole they came from.
Yeah, but France has the burqa ban, right?
I can't remember if they reversed that or not, I don't know. The recent situation of channel boats must not be used as an excuse to clamp down on innocent people. The thing is about to get to France. The thing is to get to the north of France so they can cross the English Channel into the UK. They must have had to go through several other countries, including France itself. Yeah, this is just fucking stupid. The recent situation of the channel boats must not be used as an excuse to clamp down hard on innocent people. No, they're not innocent people because they're coming here fucking illegally. spokesperson for the Joint Council of Welfare for Immigrants said the comment was misleading, designed to inflame tension and put in practice would violate international law. No, it wouldn't. Because if they are what you claim as refugees, and if they went through several safe countries to get to where they are now, and it used to be famous for dog shit on the streets. And now it's famous for human shot. Paris used to be famous for the dog shit on the streets, and now it's famous for the human shot on the streets. The UK is perfectly capable of providing safe and well-functioning, dignified welcome for desperate people trapped in limbo across Europe. We're forced to take dangerous means of reaching our shores. I'd like to have our voice heard. Sing. Well, what do I have to sing now? Apparently I have to sing now.
So awesome. So great. Finally got out of the box.
Let's see what I have to sing. She loves dance more.
Oh, battery charger. I love it. Got serious batteries.
Night English song.
Yo, Tom. I mean, bye. Ah, bubble wrap. Sweet.
No, I don't want to see the Scream Out gaming page. Fuck's sake. Thank you, Cryptic, for the £5. They told him, don't ever come around here. Don't want to see your face. You better disappear. There's fire in your eyes. And their words are really clear, so beat it. Just beat it. Beat it. You better run. You better do what you can. Don't want to see it. Don't want to see no blood. I'm a great Michael Jackson, aren't I?
Yes.
What was it? It took me like a few minutes to actually remember that was actually Michael Jackson. That was horrible.
That was horrible.
Right, thank you, Cryptic. That's the first song I could identify. So yeah, if you wanted to hear the worst Michael Jackson impression ever, you just did.
I love bubble wrap.
I feel like no matter what age you are, you're always into playing with bubble wrap.
Yes, I'm thinking about wheeling my chair over it. But that would take away the fun way too fast.
Yeah, I've done that before. It doesn't really work.
Shopping carts work really good for that. Especially if you're in a warehouse.
Never tried that. The UK is really capable of providing a well-functioning, dignified welcome for desperate people trapped in limbo across Europe. We're also forced to take dangerous means of reaching our shores. Have a legal right to have their voice heard, and we should be creating safe legal routes for vulnerable people to come. How about they apply to come illegal? How about they apply to come legally? Too much to ask? It must be. Annette Elder, partner at human rights law firm Elder Rahami, member of the Law Society's Immigration Committee, told PA News agency clearly it's not possible to say that everyone who comes across the channel from small boats is going to be sent back. The UK is bound by legal obligations. What legal obligations?
The Migrant Pact, I guess.
It means like under international law, though, a refugee must go to the first safe country.
Yeah, but they also made that Migrant Pact.
I mean, they must have traveled through several safe countries to get here.
Yeah, but people have the right to migrate where they want to migrate to.
And they're in fucking France, so stay in France.
But
Like I said,
give.
France is just-
Not if they're trying to claim asylum. If they're trying to claim asylum by international law, they're supposed to stop at the first country that is better than the one they left.
yeah.
Which at this point could even be Chile.
How's it
That's
Chile?
good.
How's it Chile if it's
I just pulled a random country out of my ass.
when it's in Europe?
I pulled a random country out of my ass because literally anywhere is probably better than where they came from.
Well, that's why I said live in France. As an
Except
example
France.
of the way asylum seekers are criminalized to talk about people illegally crossing the channel. It's inflammatory. It misrepresents the situation. Everyone has a right to seek asylum. Yeah, in the first safe country they arrive in. Currently, an estimated 900 people living rough in informal settlements around Grand Saint-Fiti near Dunkirk, with many sleeping inside a dirty and crowded gymnasium open as a temporary shelter by the local mayor. Marta Wallander, executive director at Refugee Rights Europe, said that heightened increased hostility by the French state towards displaced individuals in the area, taking shape of high levels of police harassment, intimidation, violence, and frequent evictions from living spaces, we call on the UK government to urgently provide expanded space and local routes to prevent future tragedies. Home Office spokesperson said crossing the channel in a small boat is a huge risk. The criminal gangs perpetuate this are ruthless and do not care about the loss of life. We have border force carriers patrolling the channel and equipment, including drones, CCTV, and night vision goggles, in use to identify and tackle this dangerous and illegal activity. The Office is in discussions with the French authorities about this issue, and we continue to work closely with at all levels with France. You know what? Fuck France. Stop them fucking. Stop putting the problem onto us. Anyway, I should probably end this actually. Anyone got anything to show?
No.
Oh, you're almost at 200 subs, so you know you got that to show.
Please sub to me. I'm always at 200 subs, man. I just need one more person. Just one more. Please, dear God, just one more person. And again, Cryptic, if you live in Canada, I would kiss you right now because this is fucking amazing. So amazing.
Also, subs to Miss Anthropic. So yeah, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. You're all a bunch of cunts. Goodbye. I'll piss on the share recording as well.